everyone, welcome back to Skybite Studios, and in this video we are going to be doing a spoiler-filled review and discussion of the brand new Bumblebee movie that came out yesterday on Thursday the 20th. Today is Friday about 8 a.m. on the 21st, and I was going to do this review last night, but I was too sleepy. But yeah, I'm doing it now, and like I said, this is going to be spoiler-filled. If you haven't seen the movie or you do not want to be spoiled, listen to this review at your own discretion. But yeah, we're jumping right into it. Oh my gosh, the feeling in this movie. There were tearjerker scenes. I think I tearjerked 3 times. Call me a wuss if you want, but I did. I'm gonna own up to it. And as I said in my spoiler-free review, I took my girlfriend to this viewing, and she does not like Transformers. I showed her one Transformers movie, and that was it for her. She thought it was boring. She liked the humor, but it was awkward to her, the adult humor in that movie. And she just didn't get it. She wasn't like enthusiastic about it. But with this movie, she came out crying. And I kid you not, she came out, she told me she wanted to buy a Bumblebee toy. And this is a Transformers review channel. She does not like my Transformers because I fess up the room. But she came out, she wanted a Bumblebee toy like the one I had on my shelf based on this movie. That's the effect that this movie has. That's how good it is. That's why it's a well-deserved 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, at least as of today. But yeah, just the robots were cool. The Cybertron scenes were amazing. I wish they went on longer. It was a good amount of time too. It wasn't like, oh, it happened briefly in a flashback. Well, it wasn't flashbacks, but it wasn't like, oh, that's it, you only get a minute. No, it was a good, maybe we spent 5 minutes on Cybertron, which is not much, and considering how long this movie is, it's about 2 hours long, but it is, I think it's like an hour 40 minutes. It's the shortest Transformers movie, but I think we got a good amount, especially to feel excited. The amount that they gave us was like, it made you feel excited to want a Cybertron prequel, and it looked great. The colorful. I admittedly have not finished watching G1 because I was kind of like born around the Beast Wars time, so I wasn't around to watch G1 while I was on TV. But I did buy the series on DVD, and I'm going through the process of watching every single episode. But the color palette is really, really awesome. I loved the voices. They don't use some of the same voices. Well, I'm talking about Ratchet in particular. Ratchet does show up, but it doesn't use the same voice actor, so it does sound kind of different, kind of the same when he spoke. RC is the same voice actress as Gray. Oh, she changed her last name. She got married, but it used to be Gray DeLaSalle. She's a voice actor. She's known for doing a lot of voices and all that. She did RC in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. She has one line, but I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then we see Brawn in there in the Autobots team. Of course, Optimus Prime. We saw Wheeljack. We saw Cliffjumper. He was being tortured by Dropkick and Shatter. And that was an intense scene. Where, if you guys didn't see the movie, or I don't know how you guys interpreted it, but they were torturing him to find the location of like Optimus Prime and the other Autobots on another planet, and then they took off his arm, and they were just taunting him with it. They were just waving it in front of him. I think it was Dropkick that was holding it, and I was like, that's kind of messed up. And then, yeah, like I said, they tortured him, and eventually when they find out Bumblebee, the location of Bumblebee, they're like, we pretty much don't need you anymore. And then they slice him in half, and you see him kind of like peel apart, where if it were not a robot, where if it were a human, it would be disgusting, and it would look like a scene from The Walking Dead. But yeah, that was pretty intense, and I really like the villains in this movie. Dropkick and Shatter, they have personalities, and it's really cool personalities. You got Dropkick, who is apologize for the train again in the background. I do live next to a railroad track. And no, I am not a hobo living next to a railroad track. My house is just on a railroad track. I'm not on a railroad track, living next to one. But yeah, there's like, Dropkick is he's kind of like the gung-ho of the duo. He just wants to shoot everything. He's like, I like how they pop. Like, that's what he says when he shoots humans. The first thing he did when he landed on Earth was shoot like a trailer park dude who was caught cheating on his wife with her sister, and he just like killed him just because he felt like it. And he was just asking Shatter to kill humans whenever he could, and Shatter was like, and she's like the smart one. She's like the one that made the plans to like make Sector 7 think they were the good guys, and they needed to hunt Bumblebee, a war criminal down. But yeah, I love their personalities. They did really well. Angela Bassett was Shatter, and then Dropkick was voiced by Justin Theroux, who is Jennifer Aniston's husband. I don't know if they're still married, but yeah. But his voice is not recognizable, so they probably did a lot of synthesizing and changing in post to make him sound like that, which is what they did for Megatron anyways, with Hugo Weaving. But yeah, the human characters, or not humans yet, the robots were really good. I loved hearing Soundwave and Shockwave's voice. And it's interesting to know, it is the movie trailer guy who did the voices, not Frank Welker or Corey Britton, who did the original voices in the G1 series. And he sounds amazing. I got chills hearing, well, Soundwave. I don't know why I got more excited to hear Shockwave's voice than Soundwave. But Soundwave's voice, he spoke a couple lines. Shockwave speaks one. And I love it. I love how he says it. I think the line was, "Destroy the launch pad," something like that. And I was just like, what? Oh my gosh. Just a lot of fanboying moments. There's tears of joy in this movie. A lot of tears of joy. And yeah, now we're talking about like the humans. The humans were not annoying. I mean, they were kind of like, to me, they were just kind of like, oh, come on, I want to see more robots. But they weren't annoying like in Michael Bay's movies. They were just like, why do you exist? And I'm looking at you, Transformers, the last night, especially you, because why did you need that Izzy character in there? Why? Is that her name, or is that the actress's name? The little girl. Why did you need her in there? Everyone in this movie was necessary to drive the plot forward. Even in like early in the movie, I'm like, why is this human in there? Then you see later on in the movie, you're like, the movie would be different. The outcome of the movie would be different if you weren't in there. I'm talking about like the relationship with Charlie's dad or stepfather. You're like, you're just an emotional obstacle to help develop character. No, he actually helps the plot at the end. He is the one with his car. He makes a distraction with Sector 7 to prevent them from getting to Bumblebee and Charlie in the climax of the movie. And that kind of helps their relationship because they have a fuzzy relationship where Charlie is not kind of over the death of her father, but her mom already remarried so fast. And then that's the moment where, like, at the end of the movie, because of that, she was like, okay, you're a pretty cool guy. Thanks for helping me out. But yeah, there's a lot of good redemption. And like I said with the spoiler-free review, the kid in this movie, Otis is the character's name. Forgive me, I don't know the child actor's name, but even he did a good job. There was a moment, I think the loudest laugh from my theater at least, was when they were distracting Sector 7 with the car, and then there's like a lot of flips happening, not in their car but other cars, but then it's just like some wild ride, and then he throws up in the back while holding like a deadpan straight smiling face. And I thought that was funny. He did a really good job. And normally I don't like watching child actors because they make me cringe. Not this kid. I think he did pretty darn good. So good job on you. And I think like the actor who did the least of a good job is John Cena, because he was laughable in moments where he shouldn't have been laughable, but funny when he really should have been funny. Like the Decepticon line, like he was saying with the Doctor in Sector 7, they're Decepticons. You think we should really trust them? They call themselves Decepticons. Yeah, well, yeah. That sounds like an evil name. But yeah, like coming off of that, oh man, one thing I keep going back to this, the Cybertron battle, the robot fights. The robot fights are amazing. Oh, now I'm gonna talk about when Bumblebee rages out when he gets his memory back. That was cool. And this is why I compare this more to Iron Giant more than I do E.T., other than the fact that it's a robot. It's his eyes. I wish we got more Rage Bumblebee red eyes. When he got angry, when what's his name? John Cena's character, Agent Burns, when he threw Haley Steinfeld's character Charlie to the floor and Bumblebee got pissed, he's like, his eyes turned red. And I was like, that is scary cool. It may not be consistent with the other movies, but I very much like that. And he starts raging. He starts blowing up cars and just goes on a shooting spree. And I'm pretty sure Bumblebee killed some people, because there's some people that were like right next to the fire, and maybe they were on fire from like his blast. And as dark as that may be, I think that was I like that moment because it was so dark, because it showed like, even though it shows that these Autobots are fighting for good. But even though these are good guys, they have their rage moments. All of us have our rage moments where we see red. That's all we see, red anger. And he literally saw with red, his red eyes. And he just like loses control, and then it was Charlie who had to stop him, and like very similar to Iron Giant with Hogarth stepping in front of him, even though he still had the gun out, he could still shoot her, which he won't, but she was the one that had to go, stop, enough, because like he was going on a killing spree. I don't know if it's killing spree for sure because it's PG-13 and they don't want to see Bumblebee as a killer, but I think he killed people. But yeah, that scene I think was really well done, and then he went back to being scared after that. His eyes went back to blue. Whoa, give us more of that. Give us more reason to have Bumblebee rage out. Oh man, and I think that's it, all I can say for this movie. I hope going forward that they can make another Bumblebee prequel with Charlie, or bring Charlie back into the series. Please bring Charlie. Bring Haley Steinfeld back. I loved her relationship, the Bumblebee and Charlie relationship, 100 times more than the Sam and Bumblebee relationship. It's so much better because at the end of the movie she has to say bye-bye, like, no, you can't come with me because it's too dangerous for them to stay together. And it was a tearjerker moment, and then they like hug it out because you kind of see with the discussions, he kind of becomes a father figure, protector for her that her stepdad couldn't be, well, until the end of the movie. And you just can't help but feel like she has to break up a family by letting Bumblebee go. And then I like how it goes into a happy moment right after that, where he scans a 1970s Camaro, the same one from the beginning of the first Transformers movie that Sam kind of buys from Bernie Mac's character. And it's not wrecked up, it's not rusted or anything, it's clean. And it's interesting to see because there is a kind of like, I don't know, I guess you could say a mid-credit where he's talking with Optimus Prime. The Bumblebee robot mode with the Camaro is different. It's definitely different. It's simplified. Like his chest in the original Transformers movie, it's kind of bent and all over the place. No, not on this one. It's just the front of the car, the taillights. It's not bent or anything. It's simplified. It goes in uniform with what the theme of the robots look like in this movie as opposed to the Michael Bay movies, which is interesting. It looked kind of weird to me because I wasn't used to it. I'm so used to seeing the original Bumblebee design in terms of that Camaro. So, I don't know. Maybe they'll find a way to kind of transition that into why it looks more mechanical and all over the place in Michael Bay's movies. But I hope they really do make a second Bumblebee prequel, or at least make another Transformers movie with Haley Steinfeld's Charlie. I hope they age her up if they need to and not get an adult actress. Well, Haley Steinfeld is an adult, but age her up or something, because she did an amazing job. She was one of the best parts of this movie, and that's weird to say in a Transformers movie where a human is one of the best parts. I was one of those people where it's like when I found out that they're doing a Bumblebee movie prequel, I was like, is that necessary? But yes, it is necessary. Trust me, it's necessary. Go out and watch this movie. You will be pleasantly surprised. I was hoping the Rotten Tomatoes score wouldn't like heighten my expectations and disappoint me. No, they were right there with it. Well-deserved score. You'll enjoy it unless you are one of the 2%. But yeah, if it says something, as a Transformers fan who like most of the Transformers movie, I was able to defend all of them, at least like saying, oh, I know it's dumb, but at least there was this part that was fun. At least this part that was fun. I couldn't say that about The Last Night. It was a boring movie, a disappointment. I want my money back. This one, no. From a Transformers fan, you will enjoy this movie. You will. And coming from my girlfriend who hates Transformers, you will at least like this movie, and she loved it. You will. Oh my gosh, I need to see this movie again. I really do. But I think that's about it from me for this spoiler-filled review. If you like this movie, let me know in the comments section below. Free reign. This is the spoiler movie. Go ahead and spoil away in the comments. Let's have a discussion. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for future reviews. Hopefully movie reviews, but definitely more Transformer reviews in the future. But until then, this is Sky by Studio signing out. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.